Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuesday episode of our Mystic Road Trip. And I think rituals are super important. Consistency, though, is even more important than the complexity of those. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. Like, seriously, you can go through and you can do everything. You can call things habits, you can do all that. But in general, what you're doing is a ritual. And if you can find the right rituals to really align with what you're trying to say and what you're trying to accomplish and build those into a daily thing, they become habits, but they're still rituals. By the way, I'm Kim. I am a spiritual wellness coach, tarot reader. I don't know, there's a lot of things. I am a spiritual nerd. Let's just say that. And rituals, especially when you're trying to find authenticity and trying to build things into there, is important. It keeps you grounded, and it can help you bring you back to the present moment, which is what we all want to do. We need to stop living in the past and stop hurtling towards the future, because we're missing so many things in life and we're not staying present. Here's the thing. Rituals can help you, right? Because we've talked about this. We all have conditioning. We all have goddamn masks. We all live our lives in some aspect, living up to expectations that are not our own. And there's plenty of tools out there. Yes, astrology, yes, tarot. I use them all. But rituals help you stay grounded. And this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why rituals actually matter. And the biggest thing about them, and this, I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not, but the biggest thing about rituals is that they are done intentionally. You have to create rituals when you're doing rituals that give you space for the pause. It's a moment for you to listen to your body, to whatever you have, whether you believe in a god or goddess or the universe or spirituality, or even if it's just a god, whatever it is, whatever your power is, rituals give you that moment to kind of listen in, tune in, right? They can help you do amazing things. You can transitions, going from one thing to another. That's a very traumatic part of your time. And to have those rituals that help you bring you back into that moment is super vital. They can help you release old energy, let go of things, those things that are keeping you in that box that you've lived in for so long. And we've talked about this before. It's okay, because that was the way that you survived the situation, is the way you got through. But sometimes you have to release that old energy. And sometimes, in order to do that, one of the biggest things is to have intentions. And rituals can help you anchor intentions into your daily practice. I think we need to stop thinking of rituals as a ritual. Rather, it is a bridge from your inner world to your daily life. And by creating that symbiosis, you're creating a world where you can step into authenticity in every single minute of every single day. Everything counts, though. Even if it's just a simple breath, even if it's just a sentence, an affirmation that you say to yourself, or even a symbolic gesture, Once again, it's not about the complexity of the ritual. You see a lot of these rituals all have these different layers, and it seems very complex. And in truth, and we'll talk about that in a minute, about what designing it actually looks like. But the truth is that even a simple breath is a ritual, if done in a consistent manner. So we've talked about why rituals. Rituals are super important, but how do I create them? Do I just Google? Do I chat GPT it? Sure, why not? I have no problem with that. But you can do it. You have to make sure, though, that your ritual is personal to you. It's flexible, because you're not always, if I say every day I have to sit down and I have to breathe 10 times and I have to journal for 30 minutes and I have to light a white candle and I have to burn jasmine incense. Okay, cool. But what if I don't have 40 minutes? What do I do then? What if I don't have a white candle? What if all I have is a black candle? What if I only have sandalwood, not jasmine, right? So these are just simple examples, but your rituals have to be flexible, because guess what? Life doesn't always happen the same way every day. And if it does, we got to talk about that in another another thing, right? And they have to be alive. It has to be something that can grow with you, that can evolve with you, because as you start to make these changes, as we start to decondition our astrology, as we start to find that true authentic self, that ritual has to change with us, because what was working for us at the beginning is not always going to be the thing that works for us in the next step. I think the big thing is, and the way you keep your rituals alive, is that you really focus on the intention. What am I releasing? What am I needing? What am I inviting in? It's the intention. That is the ritual in and of itself. All the tools that you use, the supportive tools, whether that is astrology or tarot or whatever, are just ways to anchor that intention, right? I think using astrology is actually something I would suggest. In particular, the moon phases, when you're setting your rituals. New moons are usually beginnings, full moons are release, and anywhere in between, it steps towards that. And I use tarot, right? So tarot is for guidance. It's like, okay, these are the energies I'm getting. What am I going to do with it? Give me some ideas. Give me a hint. In the end, it's still up to me to make those movements and those choices, but having the tools there to help you when you're trying to create a ritual for authenticity, an authentic ritual for you, and to find authenticity, that's super important. I do think also engaging your senses is important. So make sure you have things for sight, taste, smell, hearing, touch, right? All of these are important. If you have the time, things like candles, incense, music, texture, all that's good. If you don't have the time, you can always use the 5 senses, like meditation style, where you're like try to find things in your environment to anchor yourself. I think you have to, when you're looking at these rituals, look, here's the thing. You can go on TikTok and find 50,000 rituals. I've given you some rituals. You can ChatGPT it, and ChatGPT will give you some rituals. You can go and look on any type of social media. You can find rituals. But if you use things that don't align with you, then the ritual's not really going to stick, right? So especially when it comes to words, you need to make your words ones that you believe, right? You have to use gestures that feel natural to you. I saw this one ritual where they had you doing sigils in the air, right? And that's great if that works for you, but this doesn't work for me. Simple gestures, hands on hearts, these things. The movements have to feel true to who you are, right? And then if you're going to use symbols, they have to mean something to you. If you are not a Wiccan or a pagan and you use a pentagram, it may not mean anything to you. But if you use, I don't know, like a leaf, maybe that means something to you, right? The symbols that you choose need to be attuned to who you are, and they need to mean something to you. All the ideas of rituals is to create a container for you to find a anchor and to be grounded. So I'm just saying, make sure that everything that you choose to put in your rituals is specifically tied to you. You can integrate stuff all you want. You can do journaling, you can, sit quietly, you can let, whatever happens, but you have to make it yours. So also, I think, like, remember what I said, rituals have to be alive. They can't be rigid. They need to be responsive to the situation you're in at the time. So just let's do that. Some simple daily rituals. Let's talk about it. You don't need an altar. If you have one, cool, that's awesome. Go with it. You could do small little things. Even if it's just like 5 minutes in the morning, you talking to yourself, what's mine today? What do I want to do today? How do I feel? Just 5 minutes of trying to get into a morning alignment with who you are and what you see for the day, super important. You can do moon check-ins. These are things like, I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to notice my emotions. I'm going to really look and see what I need today, and I'm going to honor that. I'm not going to fix anything. I'm just going to feel, embrace, and move with it. Affirmations, I know some people think are ridiculous. I happen to think they're really great, especially when using them into a mirror speaking your truth out loud can like give you this sense of like being in tune with yourself. It's not hyping yourself up, it's aligning yourself, making sure you have an evening reflection. You know, you ask yourself questions. Where did I show up? Where did I abandon myself? Those kind of things. And honestly, I have to start talking a little bit more about this because I am big into holistic healing, and that includes movement rituals, things like yoga or stretching or dancing it out. Somatics is a great way. The thing you have to understand is like the ritual is partially for your mind, but your body actually remembers truths faster sometimes than your mind. So including movement into a ritual is a important aspect. All right, so let's talk about this. How do we let rituals really support us but not control us, right? Because sometimes that's what happens, even with habits, right? Rituals and habits, same thing. Rituals aren't a checklist. They're kind of like your tools. They're like your buddies. They're part of the process. You know, if some days you want to do tarot, great. If other days you want to take a nature walk, you just want to do breathing, you want to sit in silence. You know, I think that the truth is, whatever you choose to do, you have to realize that these rituals there to help you notice conditioning, to like catch the masks early so you can start deassembling them, and also just to realign with your body and what you're looking for. Over time, rituals will build a lot of things for you. They'll build self-trust. You'll have better emotional clarity. You'll have more inner authority. Authenticity, when using these rituals consistently, can help you that be your default, right? Instead of putting the mask on, instead of pretending to be someone else or making yourself smaller, authenticity will become kind of like who you are on a natural everyday basis. Here, in the end, what I want you guys to know is rituals don't change who you are. They should be there to help remind you who you are. Start small, but stay consistent, and then you can see how your energy shifts. You know, your authentic self isn't really hiding, guys. It's waiting for you to pay it attention. So using rituals to help you do that, almost like it's an ally, is important. And if you can consistently do that, you will find yourself stepping into your power on a daily basis. And that's what we all want. I know that's what I want for you. I hope that this found you when you needed it. And just want you to know, I believe in you. You can do this. And that's it for today, guys. Stay blessed.